Hi folks, hope you're all safe and well. I thought it might be nice to have a look at sheep and lambs this week. Got quite a nice reference here where you can see the detail in the fleece quite nicely with a dark little lamb there, and you can see I've just sort of sketched it out roughly. And I'm going to start with the head, I think, because it's so dark. So I'm going to go brown madder and a little bit of indigo. And initially just try and get the shape of that head in, the ear there. And trying to sort of work with enough, a big enough brush that I can make a bit of a little reservoir of paint on the sheet as I'm going along. Feed in a bit more dark there because I can see already, it's not going to be quite dark enough. So because I've already got some paint on there, rather than kind of painting over it, I can just feed in more colour, just dipping into the brown madder again, a little bit browner. Around here it sort of tends to warm up a bit down this side where the light's on it. It's coming down to about there. And then I think I'd be inclined to go clean damp brush. So I'm just washing the brush off and taking some of the moisture out of it. And then kind of going to let that just run down a bit, I think. Maybe introduce a tiny little bit of raw sienna down here a bit where it's paler. Let it merge and run in together a bit. You can see it's kind of run down more than I wanted in this area, but that's okay, we can sort that out. Let's get these dark legs in. I'm just sticking with this one brush for the moment. That's really got quite a nice point on it, but holds a reasonable amount of paint or water. Needs to be dark this side, but I don't go up against there yet because I know it's not going to be dry enough. So I think what I'd like to do is find this nice light area here that I've slightly lost. And just by using a bit of kitchen roll we can lift out down here and just get, refine that shape. That's it. And then maybe I could scratch in a bit. Let's try that. And certainly with a tiny brush, if it's dry enough, I can get some of that detail coming down through. That's it. It's nice, sort of almost like wrinkles within the fleece, aren't they? Lovely. Try and sort of help describe the form of it a bit. And then there's a lovely dark area in here, this area here, underneath the neck. So let's try and get that in a bit. Help define the neck with that darkness underneath. So I'm just indigo and brown madder again, just to find the bottom edge of the throat there. In actual fact, it's not flat. You can almost see, slightly the hanks of fleece there. Now, if this bottom bit runs into the yellow, that's okay because it's quite soft edge there. There we go. And I'm going to do clean damp brush, no colour on there, and just soften the area around here just slightly because it's quite gentle there. Now let's get this little fellow in. Initially I'm just going to go in and get a layer of that indigo and brown madder mix on. And then I can find the distinction in the tones. Once I've got a layer on, I can lift a bit or feed a bit more paint in, but let's just get the shape in. initially. There we go. Something like that. Ears up here. That's it, and actually you can see a little bit of the head there as well. The tail's actually laying on the top of the front leg there, and there's another leg at the front you can just see a little bit of out that side. There, that's probably enough detail for now. And then I'm going to clean damp brush. I've cleaned the brush and I've taken out as much moisture as I can. And then I'm just going to lift across the lamb's butt there, just to try and get that difference between the bottom and the head. Dipping into that raw sienna that I got out earlier, just to see if we can try and get some of the main body in, see if it's dry enough, just to bring some of that colour. Not too much. It's nice to have that lovely contrast with the very dark head. Of dry brush going on there accidentally. Don't want to put too much colour and lose the contrast, but we need some darkness on that, on the ewe's back leg there. And again, clean damp brush just to sort of merge it in a bit. And then, you know, always helps if you can sort of get something down underneath, some shadow. And I'm not bothered if the feet, I can see the legs here are really quite wet, and if that runs into the grass, it doesn't matter, do you know what I mean? It seems to help somehow to root them down if you just let it merge in a bit at the bottom. And then it might be nice on that grass almost to just, perhaps you could do a little bit of fine salt sprinkled in, perhaps. A little bit of fine salt on there while it's wet. And maybe with my scratchy tool, you know, I could just scratch a little bit. And of course this you'll see more when it's dry. Okay folks, that's probably long enough because I won't be able to upload it if I waffle on any longer. Okay, what I'll do is I'll put a couple of references up online as well. Okay, happy painting. Bye.